I mean, I kind of don't understand what I just watched because, to give everybody an understanding, this is not Manchester United losing to a championship team. We saw last season, I think it was Coventry City. Was it Coventry City? Maybe last season or the season before. Gave them an amazing match. It really went down to the wire, and then United ended up advancing. That was with Ten Hag at the end. So that was like 1.5 seasons ago, I think. Grimsby Town. Let me talk to you about this team. This team plays in the League Two. All right, I learned today from an English friend. They play in the northern part of England. Honestly, I haven't heard of one of the players on their team. I watch a lot of football. This team, let me tell you this, market value wise, the whole squad. So that's like, I think it's 25 to 30 players they have registered. 3.6 million euros. Okay. The highest contract on their team is 350K, which is actually the goalkeeper, which we'll talk about. I mean, most of these players are on 100K, 150K contracts. So look, you make it to League Two in England. You're in the fourth division of English football, one of the premier countries to play football in. It's more than respectable. Let's give the team credit, okay? They just took down Manchester United tonight, bro. Now, it's the worst era for Manchester United, but I mean, the atmosphere for it being 10,000 people around or a little bit less was fantastic. This game had everything about it. Like, the rain was pouring. It was just, dude, it was nuts. So fair play to them. I can't believe I'm saying that. Grimsby Town beat Manchester United. But this video is going to be more about, we got to talk about Manchester United. I mean, what do you even do from here? Where do you go from here? Because you have had the darkest of dark times. You start off the season, you lose against Arsenal, but you say, hey, let's be positive because we're going to give AMORIM that positivity that he needs. The team went out there, they played well. We need to finish the football, but we control the game. How do they go from 2 games ago, controlling a game against Arsenal, to losing to a League Two fourth division team in pretty much the first round of the Carabao EFL Cup? It's round 2. I don't even know if United have ever been in this round because the only way you qualify for this round is you stink it up that much. So, I mean, they've already been sent out of this competition before a lot of other teams are even entering this competition. That's sad within itself. I've already seen the Twitter memes are saying that, well, it's going to be great for United this season because they're going to have even more rest now. I mean, this is a disaster. So I will give the credit to Grimsby Town. It's very impressive that they've done this. Manchester United squad, guys, current market value is 900 million euros. 900 million. Grimsby Town, 3.5 million euros. This is one of the greatest upsets of all time. So, I know some of you guys, you may have not been able to watch it. This type of game is not even nationally broadcasted. I had to watch this on Paramount Plus in America. I think in other regions it might have not even been on main television. So I know that not everybody watched this game. So we're going to give you the quick rundown of the game. But we're more going to talk about my opinions on what United should even do going forward because there's a lot of back and forth. I think we need to have some serious conversations. So Grimsby Town get 2 goals in the first half, both off set pieces. They got extremely unlucky because they scored a third goal, and from the television replays, it looked onside. I don't know if they were reviewing anything. I still don't know with this cup if they do VAR. I don't know. It looked onside. I couldn't figure out where the offside was, and I'm not even talking about the Maguire deflection. So I know that some people will say this game should have been wraps. You might be right. Again, I don't really like to go too in depth with calls on this channel because it's just it's tough. It's tough to actually know what's the right thing or not. So I don't try to get in the mix of that because I know it kind of makes people upset when you take a side. I felt like it was onside. So look, anyways, the game goes on 2-0. United do a decent job for a while going for goal, and Buemo has a really nice solo run. I mean, he looks unguardable. You can tell the difference in market value and tier of player. And trust me, these League Two players are insane. All right, to play at that level, you have to be so good. The average person doesn't even understand. A fourth division English player is sensational. But a first division English player is another level. We're talking crazy levels. And man, Mbeumo, the solo run, I mean, it was a great goal. And I think Mbeumo has looked solid for United. This is the tough piece with United. They've picked up some new players that actually look good. I don't know if AMORIM's system looks good. I feel like we have to start some conversations about this 3 at the back. Because, I mean, AMORIM, I saw some graphic going into the game today. He's only had 7 wins out of 29 games. Now, we see Rashford, we see a lot of the supporters of United saying, well, we have to give a manager time. We don't give these managers enough time. My question is, has Ten Hag done some irreversible damage to this club with some of the players that he signed. And I'm not giving AMORIM the get out of jail card because, look, I think there's some people that are going to be in the corner saying AMORIM should be out of this football club. All right, that's 7 wins out of 30 matches now. How long do we have to wait for this system to work? Let me explain to you this. You've started this season. You've played 3 games already. You haven't won a game. You have not won a game to start the season. You lost to Arsenal. You didn't really win much in preseason. I know it's preseason, but let's say this. You won in pens against Fiorentina, you tied against Everton, and then you beat Bournemouth, you beat West Ham. So you now haven't had a win in like 5 matches, including those preseason games, technically. Now you got Burnley on Saturday. I mean, dude, start the season with, we look good, lose to Arsenal. You draw Fulham. I tell you, the Fulham game, I didn't make a video on it because it's, we have teams like Barcelona, we have teams like Real Madrid, Liverpool playing that I commentate usually more on, but it's a Wednesday today, we got a cup game, I'm going to talk about it. I felt like they went so backwards in that Fulham game that I watched, and I was like, dude, what was all that work we saw in the first week? It just was not a pretty game. I didn't like the control. And dude, tonight, I'm a little confused because Sesko was a guy that a lot of people were after, okay? Today he has a 5.8. He just doesn't really get involved much. I mean, statistically, he had the least touches out of any outfield player to play 90 minutes. That makes sense with how the game went. He had 6 shots. None of them were great. He had 0.67 XG. Look, the Grimsby keeper was great. The service to Sesko, it felt like it kept going way over his head tonight with crosses. But my question is this. How are they still, especially against the 4th division team, not getting Sesko involved? This should have been a field day with the United lineup they went out with tonight. I mean, they went out with guys, not the weakest lineup that some of these teams do, like Arsenal, Liverpool, when they rotate in these cups. They went out with a lineup that pretty much only had 2 or 3 non-starters in the lineup. And Sesko just not even getting involved. I mean, not even getting involved, not getting the aerial service, forcing shots, I felt like, looking a little behind it. And then you have to ask questions because then in the pen shootout, he went 9th or 10th. We'll talk about the penalties, but I was like, that's really late for your 9 to take a penalty. I felt like, So Maguire is ultimately the savior of this football club at this point. If Harry Maguire was not at this club in the last couple of years, I mean, that Europa League run would have not been possible. The amount of goals that over the years Maguire and Bruno and McTominay have scored for this club to keep them in, we're talking out of relegation zone, out of zones like that. It's man, Maguire, I think, deserves more respect. He continues to score. I couldn't tell at the end as well, with the end of the game. So Maguire gets the goal. He almost had another one before that. So they level it at 2-2, and then they push in the end. And then there was this rebound that Emblemo played a really nice ball into Sesko. He controls it. I couldn't tell if it was him or De Ligt that put it over, but one of them missed a complete tap-in and it kind of went over. The conditions, the rain, everything has got to be considered. But, I'll be honest, guys, Grimsby, the wingers on Grimsby looked pretty solid. So I was impressed with that being a 4th division team. I mean, you could tell that obviously when United got in possession, we're going 1v1, that there's levels to this. But they put on a good game. So then we get to penalties, and I said, look, this is a huge opportunity for Onana. Onana, I'm not going to blame the game on Onana. Obviously, maybe I am. Maybe I am, because the first 2 goals that United let up, I mean, Onana has to do better, especially the other one when he's out on the corner and he's punching it out. The first goal that Grimsby scored, okay, I'll give it to them. The second goal, that was so bad from Onana. I mean, as a goalkeeper on corners, come on, man, you got to sort it out. It's been this long. So, look, that was one of his mistakes. He did save a penalty. He scored his penalty. But, man, what is going on with this guy's hands? Because I watch it and I'm like, Grimsby's keeper is on 300K, right? Market value. Onana's on 25 mil market value, a guy that I think United paid way more for him, and he was worth 50 at one point. What is this guy doing? You got to save the penalties. He makes the right read 3 times. Super athletic goalkeeper is in the spot, and it's he parries the ball into the net. I'm like, bro, I'm not a goalkeeper, but bro, parry positionally with your hands out of the net. It's but the shots aren't coming in at 100 miles per hour. And he's parrying it in the net. So look, the penalty shootout, a lot of good penalties. I'm honestly the shock of the whole day. Look, I know Embuemo missed his second penalty. Cunha, man. Cunha's a player that I felt, and look, we're not blaming the game on any individual. Obviously, Onana needs to be way better. AMORIM's got to sort this shit out ASAP or he should be sacked. We'll talk about that in a minute. Cunha, out of all players, I feel has a certain level of composure and class and technique. I'm shocked he missed that penalty. I can't believe it. You know, they have a chance to get out of this disaster. It's almost, you can tell the United players when they take the penalties, they're like embarrassed to take the penalties, okay? They're at a point where Onana makes a save and they're up 5-4. Or they're, 4-4 heading into that one and they can win the game. And dude, Cunha's penalty stunk. It was so bad. And then we get to the situation where everybody makes their penalties. The penalties, both sides were great. Very impressive from Grimsby. We saw the manager was laughing because he's like, dude, these are crazy pens. What the hell? Like, what are my players doing? But they really bought in. They believed. And this is just where it gets tough because then you get to the second round of people taking penalties. Anybody can miss. That's like where it's such a brain thing because, you know, you already taken a penalty. Where do you go? Do you change it so that the keepers kind of get way more gambly and look, and Buemo ends up actually picking the right side but misses the penalty. But look, did United deserve to win this game? No, dude. Like, if, guys, let me ask you this. If United win this game, are all of us collectively leaving here being like, oh, thank God, like, no, our club is safe? Like, no. There's a real problem. The fact that you're not winning this game by 2 or 3 goals, I mean, I know it's a hostile away atmosphere. The weather sucks. You put yourself in a 2-0 hole. We have to have conversations about this, man. So should AMORIM get sacked? It goes against the philosophy of everybody's been saying we have to give this guy time. We have to give Ten Hag time. But you look at some of the managers that United had just a couple of years ago that everybody complained about. I don't think any of those fans could even imagine where this club would be at right now with what Ten Hag, who did get them a trophy, and now where AMORIM has taken this club. So you look at the manager market. Who do you even bring in right now? Who is even actually willingly available that you think you could bring into United and reshape this football club? You've just given AMORIM his first transfer window. This was really his first kind of real window to have. You still got a couple of the lacking players from Ten Hag's era, and AMORIM has kind of straight up told him, look, get out. He's trying to clean out his idea of the garbage. He doesn't want it. And you're 3 games in. You brought in really good attacking players. Like, I can see it with Cunha. I can see it with Mbeumo. I'm not going to overjudge Sesko because it's early, and I think these players, look, he's bringing in a bunch of players that were the best player at their club. Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, or if they're not the best, the second best, right? You bring in a bunch of superstars, and they suddenly got to kind of bring back this ship that's sinking like the Titanic, and they have to be right away on board with each other and know exactly how to play with each other. Look, the chemistry and the system is both different from where they were. All these guys, it's going to take time, but at what point do you give up? That's what I'm wondering, because AMORIM needs to go on some win streak here to make this fan base believe that he can actually get this team back, because you're not just looking at this manager saying, please, like, have the standards gone this low that we're like, oh, United, let's not get relegated this season. No, dude, you need to take United back to being a top 6 team. This team is a team that needs to be in the conversations to be winning the Premier League. That is what the roadmap should look like if you're going to invest years into a manager. You need to be looking at this like year 3, year 4, year 5, that we are the club that we want to attract players to again. I mean, the tier 1 players. We are the club that we want to make progress next season, not keep fighting this relegation battle. I mean, let me remind people, Manchester United, what was it, 15th or 17th last season they finished in the Premier League? No trophies. Like, this is a disaster start to the season. So, look, if you're a Manchester United fan, you want to see a response starting Saturday. And Burnley's going to be a tough one. They got to go and play Burnley, Man City, and Chelsea. I mean, this game against Burnley is like a must win. If you don't win that game, you probably got to look into seriously firing this guy, because unless they pull off a massive upset at Manchester City or Chelsea, I don't see it. And that would be obviously the most United thing ever. You lose to a 4th division team, and then you end up beating Manchester City, which is the most unexpected result. Now, this team it's beyond weird. I don't know if I like the 3-back system at all. I think the flow of it does not look super organic. I felt like multiple times on the wing, and Mbeumo and Diallo still are kind of both checking in at the same time. They don't really seem like they totally understand each other. So at what point do you give the system time with the new signings? Is it 5 games? Is it 10 games? There are United fans that are going to say, no, right now we got to get rid of this guy. But when you start doing that conversation in your mind, you got to think about, who are we going to bring in that's going to be better? And is it going to be better to bring in some dude that didn't even bring in any of these players? Maybe these guys don't even fit their system. So, oh my goodness, this feels like it's been a never-ending issue with United for years now. And it's like, it's a team that, you know, we all grew up with watching these legends, man. Do I even need to say who? I mean, between Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Rio, Ronaldo, Giggs, Beckham, and it's like, the team is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. And you know, the market value of the team, it's funny because the money that they spend at this club, it's not far off. It's just they've gotten it so wrong managerial, so wrong tactically, and I just feel like it's a club that, man, it feels cursed because it feels like all these players go here in the moment is just too large. I don't know. I don't even know what is my opinion because I is it beneficial for the fans and for the club and the progression of the players that they just signed to fire this guy after 3 games, man? But disaster start to the season. I mean, not the team they just lost to is worth $3.5 million. I mean, you're worth almost $1 billion. And it's just but look, Grimsby heroic. I want to say credit to them. I think they obviously really overachieved tonight. It's just, man, it's something is super wrong with the tactics in my eyes, guys. So whether he needs to adjust and figure that out for these players, I could see the technique and the talent in these United players. It was very clear of the Grimsby players. I mean, you could watch the times Bruno's turning and Embuemo's taking players on. But it's just, man, the results, the goal scoring, and the conviction, if you're a fan, it's not there. It's bad. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think is the way forward for this team. I don't have a strong opinion because I think, you know, at this point, getting rid of this guy after game 3 or 4, I guess the upside or the other side to it is, look, you do it early enough in the season, you give someone else that comes in the whole season to kind of like figure things out. But you just gave this guy a transfer window. You just gave him a window and it looks terrible. And it's a real thing. People saying this is an overreaction or people going on these, you know, you'll probably watch people on TalkSport overreacting as a United fan, calling in like their life is just over because of this. It's a real reaction because this team, guys, it's people need to understand how like impossibly rare this is that a team like this in the Premier League is going to lose to a 4th division team. I mean, it's just like almost unheard of. It very rarely happens. And it's one thing if, you know, it's a top flight club that's playing well and you know, they just have like a slip up. Maybe they didn't prepare well for this game. I mean, United knew going into this game, this was a trap game because they have to play well. They can't have an off night. They haven't even won a game this season. So, oh my God, these guys are out of this cup. I mean, before other teams are even playing their first round game. It's an embarrassment. I feel for the United fans. I think at this point, anyone that was hate watching United over the years, it's not even that anymore, man. It's like, this is just so embarrassing and sad. It's like depressing to watch this team. So you guys let me know how you guys are feeling, and thank you for watching the video. Get well soon for the United fans. I'm sorry about the